In the swooning heat of a summer afternoon, Shelagh Reardon's eyes swooped across the crowded parking lot, hunting for a spot to park her cherry-red Mustang. She was running late for her shift at the 7-Eleven, and Mr. Patel would have her head on a platter if she clocked in even a minute past 3 p.m. As she scanned the asphalt, her gaze snagged on a glossy black hearse, parked askew across 3 spaces. The windshield wipers flapped like skeletal fingers, beckoning her closer. Shelagh's instincts did the tango with unease. Something about that hearse felt off, like a pixel out of place in a digital photograph. She shook off the feeling, telling herself it was just the heat playing tricks on her brain. After all, she'd seen her fair share of weirdos in this town, where the lost and the lonely flocked like moths to a flame. Shelagh parallel parked her Mustang with a flourish, grabbing her purse and hurriedly locking the door. As she strode toward the 7-Eleven's neon-lit facade, the hearse's tinted window rolled down, releasing a plume of air-conditioned air that carried the faint scent of lavender and smoke. A face emerged from the depths of the hearse, pale and symmetrical as a porcelain doll's. The driver's eyes, an unsettling shade of green, locked onto Shelagh like a targeting system. For an instant, she forgot to breathe as he mouthed a single, soundless word, "Shelagh." The hairs on the back of her neck quivered like guitar strings. How did he know her name? She quick-stepped away, the pavement seeming to writhe beneath her sneakers like a snake shedding its skin. As she burst through the 7-Eleven's automatic doors, the fluorescent lights overhead snapped on, bathing her in a cold, unforgiving glow. Mr. Patel, resplendent in his mustard-yellow turban, looked up from behind the counter, his eyes narrowed in disapproval. "Late again, Shelagh?" he asked, his voice dripping with disappointment. Shelagh forced a bright smile, trying to shake off the unease that had taken up residence in her chest. "Sorry, Mr. P. Traffic." The hearse and its unsettling occupant were already forgotten, reduced to a minor speed bump in her day. Or so she told herself, as she clocked in and began restocking the chip aisle. Shelagh's thoughts strayed back to the mysterious hearse and its driver. Her mind played a twisted game of connect the dots, linking the stranger's face to a series of unexplained events in town. The vandalized street art on Main Street, the stolen batches of fresh bread from the bakery, and the eerie, pulsing lights that had flickered to life on the old water tower. Coincidence? Shelagh told herself, but the certainty of that felt as fragile as a soap bubble. During her first break, Shelagh stepped outside, craving a nicotine hit to calm her jangled nerves. The hearse was still parked across the lot, its engine purring like a contented beast. Shelagh's eyelids narrowed as she spotted a sticker on the rear window, a stylized image of a snake consuming its own tail, surrounded by cryptic symbols that seemed to shimmer in the fading light. The same symbol was etched into the buckle of her own worn leather belt, a souvenir from her wild child days. A shiver traced her spine as she realized the stranger might be more than just a curious onlooker. The hearse's window slid down once more, and the driver's voice, low and smooth as honey, whispered, "Shelagh, we need to talk." His eyes, those unsettling green orbs, locked onto hers, and for an instant, she felt the threads of her reality begin to unravel. Shelagh's gaze darted around the parking lot, searching for an escape route or a witness, but the few pedestrians in sight seemed oblivious to the strange exchange. "About what?" Shelagh asked, her voice barely above a whisper, as she took a step back, her palm instinctively reaching for the reassuring weight of her phone in her back pocket. The driver's smile, a lazy, cat-stretching into sunlight kind of smile, spread across his face. "About the gifts, Shelagh. You've been getting them, haven't you? The little tokens, the whispers in the dark." His voice dripped with an unsettling intimacy, as if he'd been sharing her pillow secrets. Shelagh's mind reeled as she recalled the cryptic notes, the Polaroids of abandoned places, and the small, ornate box containing a single iridescent feather, all anonymously delivered to her doorstep over the past few weeks. Suddenly, the 7-Eleven's door swooshed open, and Mr. Patel's voice called out, "Shelagh, darling, your break is over. We need you back on register." As she turned to re-enter the store, Shelagh felt the driver's gaze, like a cold breeze, trailing down her spine, leaving her skin pebbled with gooseflesh. She clocked back in, her mind still reeling from the hearse driver's words. Gifts, whispers in the dark. What did he know about her secret life? As she rang up a customer's purchases, her hands moved on autopilot, while her mind replayed the driver's comments like a stuck record. The store's fluorescent lights seemed to flicker in time with her racing heart. At the next lull in customers, Shelagh snatched up her phone and ducked into the employee lounge, a cramped, windowless room that reeked of stale air and yesterday's coffee. She scrolled through her texts, hunting for any sign of the mysterious messages that had been arriving since the summer solstice. There, buried beneath a flurry of spam and social media alerts, was the latest note. Meet me at the old clock tower, midnight. Come alone. No signature, no hint of the sender's identity, just the promise of secrets and the thrill of the unknown. Shelagh's thumb hovered over the delete button, but her curiosity had already won the battle. She was in hook, line, and sinker. As she exited the lounge, the hearse driver's words echoed in her mind. We need to talk, Shelagh, about what exactly, and what did he have to do with the clock tower, the cryptic notes, and the midnight assignations? As the sun dipped below the horizon, Shelagh's anticipation grew, a live wire humming in her chest. She clocked out at 10 p.m., exchanging a brief goodbye with Mr. Patel, who eyed her with concern. You okay, Shelagh? You look a little fragile. Shelagh forced a laugh, a brittle sound that faltered on her lips. Just tired, Mr. P. I'll be fine. She beat a hasty retreat, the hearse driver's words still resonating like a mantra. We need to talk, Shelagh. Outside, the night air enveloped her like a damp shroud. The parking lot, once bustling with activity, now lay deserted, the only sound the distant hum of the highway. The hearse, its engine still purring, waited patiently, a dark and sleek predator. Shelagh's heart skipped a beat as the driver emerged, his eyes aglow like emeralds in the dark. You came, he said, his voice low, husky. I knew you would. Shelagh's skin prickled with unease as he beckoned her toward the hearse, its rear door yawning open like a dark, waiting mouth. Let's take a ride, Shelagh. The clock tower awaits.